Hello everyone and welcome to the Inventor Tic-Tac-Toe tutorials. In this video we're going to look at chamfer, fillet, and color. Up until this point you guys have drawn exactly what the technical sketch was asking for. So if we look over here, I have an isometric view of what I was drawing and it looks identical to where we've ended up. There's some things we can do to our part to make it look a little more realistic. So the first one I'm going to show you is called chamfer. Up here in the modify section, there's a tool called Fillet, and right next to it is chamfer. And you can see here it says it applies a bevel to one or more component edges. So I'm going to grab the chamfer tool. A box pops up, allowing you to change the size of your chamfer. In this instance, it actually pops up exactly how we want. We're going to leave the distance at 0.125. What we need to do is select some edges. So, being very careful, I'm going to come into one of my grooves here and grab this edge on the top side, and I'm going to click. Moving my mouse down, I'm going to click on the next one. And moving my mouse down, I'm going to click again. After you do 3 of them, it's important that we come over here and we apply that chamfer to those 3 edges, and then we attempt to do 3 more of them. Just in case we have to hit cancel, we don't want to lose a bunch of work. And it's made chamfer 1. I can always come in and edit those if I need to. So I'm going to select a side, and one more. After I select 3 of them, I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to try and do the horizontal groove as well. 1, 2. Let me pinch my keyboard off to the side, it's getting a little in the way. 3, and I'm going to apply. 1, 2, 3, and apply. Now I've done every visible edge that I can see, but there are 2 sides to the grooves. So if I were to go to this navigation cube and I select the bottom left corner. You need to be very careful here. Notice it's highlighting blue. It's going to spin my view to the bottom left corner. The reason we want to do this, from this view you're going to notice we've only done 1/2 of each groove. So in this bottom corner, what I should be able to do is select the opposite sides. 1, 2, 3, and apply. 1, 2, 3, apply. I'm going to go do the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, apply. And my last one, 1, 2, 3, apply. So I'm going to hit cancel here. You're going to notice I have 8 sets of chamfers. This is both sides of all 4 grooves. I'm going to come back to my home view and I'm going to grab the orbit tool that I showed you in the tips and tricks video. So now if I click and hold and I come down to a view, you can see the grooves look a little more personalized, a little more realistic as to what our router would actually do. I think that looks pretty great. Next up, if we were in the wood shop, I would have you guys round over every single edge on your piece of wood. And these holes wouldn't quite be as straight and blocky. So we're going to use, let me get rid of my orbit tool. We're going to use the tool right next to chamfer called Fillet. Now I wouldn't do fillets until you finished all sides of the grooves. But now that I grab the fillet tool, I'm going to go around the outside edges, 3, and give them a nice little round over. So I do 3 and I apply. I'm going to go down this far side. You notice it's wrapping around the edge as well. 1, 2, 3. Apply. I'm going to do the bottom. Notice it wraps around the edge. I'm going to come up the side. It's giving everything a nice round over. Let me grab my orbit tool and spin around to the back side so I can do my last bit. I'm going to unselect my orbit tool. I also want to round over the back side, and it actually grabs all 4 at once. Come back to the home view. And we can also do a fillet on these holes. So I'm going to do all 9 at once. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not completely advisable, just in case you misclick. But I have all 9. I give it an apply. I hit cancel. And now those holes have a nice round over, and they look a little more realistic for a marble to sit in them. Okay, last part of this video is changing the color of your part. I should make sure I do a quick save at the top. Up by the new open, save, undo, if I keep going over, there are these 2 arrows. There are a couple extra tools. So there's a spot that says generic, but the spot we want says default. So this is currently the material that it's made out of, and it defaults to this gray material, which isn't really anything. If I drop this list down, there's all sorts of interesting materials you can make it out of. There I've selected dirt. Obviously we wouldn't build one out of dirt. Just curious what it looks like. Foil gold. If we were making this in a shop, it would most likely be made out of some sort of wood. We would be making it out of basswood. I'm going to go and try and find yellow pine. That looks pretty good. So take some time, look through the different types of materials. There are a few that I would suggest avoiding. I will show you them, and you're welcome to test them out, but I wouldn't leave it on that. Indoor pool is one. It's a little tough to see what's going on because it's all see-through. And in this video, I wouldn't suggest using a material we're going to use in the next video called expanded metal. Again, also kind of hard to see what's going on. So I would pick some sort of material that looks interesting to you, but is still visible and allows us to see what's going on with the part. So there, I'll put it on wood. I'll come up and click the save at the top. And you have now added chamfers, fillets, and a color to your tic-tac-toe board. Good work.